mean, they played a lot of lair against each other, but MACKO don't want to do that. We're actually going to end up on a map like Chalet. How are we feeling about that?
Well, I'm
Leo's
very
getting excited in French.
I will preference that and say, though, look, this Italian team should have been in Tier 1 a lot sooner. You know, they've been kicking about on the cusp of it for years now, and well for themselves. You know, being able to move in and compete. Looks as though that WYLDE are aware of that. You can see Sneak actually playing over towards short. Jiggle one tap.
holding DBS the hatch to escape, and he's going to double dip. There's the E1D, and surely he thinks pressure's going to come from elsewhere. Maybe didn't expect it that quickly. Akwi.
Activated track.
MACKO right now, it's about trying to force their way in through site, and that's a big pick. It eliminates one of the players in said site. Still one more in connector, though, of course, is that mirror window that Sneak is sat behind, but you're just waiting almost for that pinch to come in where they'll try and throw all the util in at him and force him out of position and look for that pick, but Sneak says not today. Swings the hatch, ends up killing one. There's Garen inside of lobby, able to pick up another, and WYLDE flip the script on MACKO right now, and the last player goes Nico. There goes the canister from the tub to deny those Selmas for the meantime. And a swing as well for MACKO. I mean, WYLDE.
Away 40 seconds, and they still have most of them above this high position as well. And yeah, you're going for a West main take, but Dora's the first to suffer, and then it's Ghost. Matt peeks out, gets Ghost, and now you're just sort of sat, watching, waiting. There's one. Tries to follow through with the second, going for another air jab deployment. They're putting pressure on towards maybe getting a plant. They've maybe forced them off the hatch itself, but at this point they've had to rotate their way down, and now they're past in the default plant spot, trying to tuck it in, and tears the head off for one, almost finds the second as well, but they've pushed themselves up and they do get the kill. Can they get the follow through? They can. Boomsy blows their way up and through, and now getting on towards the hatch itself. They know it's going to be peeked onto here. There's one, but they're just holding F at this point, and they've got the kit done.
Pressure on this player towards Solar Stairs. Evan just don't move. He's safe for the meantime, but in goes the nade, and out goes the C4. Two nades, and oh, somehow the C4 connects onto Akwi, and Evan. He just mishap from them in terms of the take that they went for. And again, the aggression. So I mean, look at Sneak just swinging the piano window. It's absolutely insane. Oh, that's a great kill there from Ghost. Didn't even see him. He just shadow sensed them almost in the fog.
Yeah, that was some prediction. There, and Garen now holding on and about to come under a bit of a blow. Evan's been able to get himself up the stairs, and Garen gets Dora and pulls himself back again. The aggression, swinging into the fight, aware the pressure's going to come, so why not let them have it first? There's the cover. Lolo does get Evan, but Ghost is down in the middle, and Mats will lock out Ghost. They didn't expect the player to be in piano. It is 2 versus 2, but 20 seconds left, and the site is obviously still below. Oh, Boomsy's able to get one from underneath, and Garen gets
the cleanest 3 rounds I think WYLDE have ever put on. It's incredible. Just the way
he's gonna get a tattoo. I think it's already pretty locked in.
I think it's done anyway. Yeah.
Oh, here's a couple of shields. How do you stop aggression? 2 shields, and that's a catch out. Garen's doing his best to save on, but I think MACKO is just fed up at this point. It's the kind of around them, and there's someone who can perfectly see through it. Evan's ready on the swing as well. The blinds come in, and there's a close shield, but does nothing to a man with those glasses. The support needs to come in, but it's covered. But it's back and forth. Evan gets one. Lolo gets Evan, and we're suddenly in a 2 versus 2. Yes, they've wrested that vertical control, but now all they have left is 2 shields. It was the start. Can it be the end? There's no more C4 in the pocket of Garen. It's just a drop and a shield leading another shield. You can hear the other in a fight. Mats wins his out against Akwi. And with 10 seconds left, there's a 1 versus 1. Lolo, he's cutting the distance. He's got to have a fight. At this point, you've just got to play the distance, but Mats wins it out. Over, but it's also not over till it's over.
This.
Oh, doesn't get anything, but I mean, it was always going to happen at some point.
Lost the vigil, which won't really bring much to the table, but certainly that ram would have. And Akwi starting to take a bit of shots, and oh, the quick jumping from Lolo actually caught him mid-vault.
I mean, they're in the best spot, but as the Monty goes down, they're almost caught out of blue. But what the heck was that?
What?
Unreal.
How? Did he lose this? He's down. Let me hear. We're going to go for the pickup. So Lolo just has to try and play on kills, but he has no idea where Garrett is. And yeah, just peeks up.
But Akwi does find Boomsy, gets some revenge. They have swing. Really hoping they don't just try and send it, but there's some flashes. Matt gets it caught out, and there it is. Okay, will there be a response at this point? No, the calls are coming out. They're trying to push their way across the top. I thought they were still down in the bedroom, in the kitchen, but they'd actually handed over the ground, and they pull themselves back. MACKO, decent job, and they're out of there. Great movement, and unfortunately too little too late here. Wild. There's at least one, though. A curious idea there from Lolo. But Akwi at least punishes one back, doing everything to make sure they have a round in their favor. 3. Ooh, another quad kill. Akwi, he's on for the ace here. And it's just Garen left. He's got a first fight, but Dora gets his first.
But he just positioned himself well enough where he wasn't gonna, be picked off by 1 or 2 people. He was always, good to run around with. Generally you're not gonna see a Tachanka or, smokes from the sudden. For his side, and he's hungry for more as he starts pushing up in towards blue, but no, gets punished by Sneak as he was patrolling that staircase. Looks to be down into basement, but will then now rotate over towards blue.
Massive damage done to them, and that's sort of the problem, because if one of those goo mines gets in close, which it always could, well, now's the attempt on the plant. They're worried about the stair rotate up, but it's actually the sort of fill on prep that's going to be the cost. There's the plant, there's the stop. And yeah, it's a post plant, but Sneak's not really going to be able to stop this. Sprays through, they know exactly where he is. He's looking for the man on the kit, but there's a shotgun in his spine. Makes it quite hard to hold your life. To fall these past couple of rounds, and obviously they almost pulled off the ace on that big round. You wonder again, it could have been a flawless half, if not for a 4K. They are here, the grenade. This falls a little bit too far away. There's another keeper being smashed out. Will another one be placed? They swing in and are knocked right back out. Lolo has the cover. They still really want to get the kill. You gotta pay attention here, lads. Dora drifts around, gets Evan. And well, there's this army that sort of had their life saved a bit. For Boomsy looks straight down into the kitchen side from that lunch hole. Let's tag Akwi up just a little bit, but MACKO send them back out the windows from whence they came. They've attempted to execute above, but nobody from MACKO looked phased whatsoever. That's what I mean. The tides they've turned. It's honestly good. They don't really have anything to lead them into a fight. There's a man in a bathtub. And they seem to have a good awareness, but Garen gets one as Teb swings onto Boobsy. Garen is looking to try and piece up another kill, and they... Oh, did they miss it? No. Evan with the tap. Comedic second late keeper doesn't quite save the doomed player. But they got 10 seconds demo. They're charging into a waiting sort of firefight here. The pings are there. Slips on bars. Does find the fight. There's one more to get. They're under the hatch and...
Oh, on the side of the MACKO team, they will sweep. They're that team where if they have the confidence, but they have the wind behind their sails, they can do that before they even think of making a move in towards that bomb site. And player jumps in towards Mud, and flashbangs are going to go in, and in goes the Blackbeard. Mats is going to go aggressive alongside Evan on the Monday. Where's he came from? He's inside a connector. He rushed in through snow window straight into the bomb site. Nobody was watching that from MACKO, and now Mats can go for the plant.
That's it. Now they just need to watch from the plant. They try and keep their way up, and I mean, that was a decision. They've pulled themselves around and dropped off to try and get the cover. Ghost does get one of the 2 shields. The other's quite hurt. But now as Ghost tries to drip their way on by, there's an impact towards the Monty that's fleeing, and that will be the end of them. Ghost gets another. 2 versus 3, but they don't have a lot of time to cook. Boomsy lives, and that's a big blow because that's still a gun that can be up high, and it's a tricky retake here, and they've gone for the verticality. Wild have said, where you are, we're not. They've pulled their way up above. Garen gets Ghost, and now Lolo does not have the time to make it to the kit. Wild have guaranteed themselves an OT. And they did it by just charging 2 shields in.
Oh, pocket play with Strix Boomsy on the Nook. Look to see what he can go for. Oh, what a run out from MACKO! Tried to catch him as assuming he's on the drone, and Darren.
They're going to have to hope that the others can step in, and ooh, Ghost was caught. A Nook perfectly under a camera, ready for the eyes on where they could be swung from. No, actually, where do they want it to go? Dora seems to be trying to find an angle everywhere, but that was the worst one to choose. Sneak puts it into a 5 versus 2. Now we've seen some impossible things, and there is a slight play underneath, but the last 2 MACKO players are just a backline of Piano and Bedroom towards the open breach. In fact, they move all the way in. There's one, traded out instantly. Could have been big, but they step in 20 seconds, worried about someone coming up from behind them. They're about to find a fight. This will just give them the read on exactly where the player is. Wild try and flood in, get one, get dropped, get Wild.
I think they'll be astounded as well, and yeah, it's a little bit late. My brain's not working. Don't worry about it. I'm on a 300 millisecond delay. But I genuinely, I do think like Wild showed a lot of character and a lot of fight to make it to this level. Like, let's not, you know, beat around the bush. Some of the teams they were competing against in Challenger Series, they were not the favorite. They were not the favorite in literally any of the games they played this stage, either inside of EML, and they've had to dig deep. But when they've dug deep, they've found something really good. And I don't want to say it's just a map. It was a couple of chalets that they played against, you know, against Falcons and against MACKO. But the way they played, the team play, the chemistry they've had, I feel like they've really unlocked something now.
Yeah, now we've got a beachhead. We've got that map. That is chalet. We've got a style.
A what? A beachhead?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a beachhead.
A what?
A beach.
Beach.
You gotta be really careful with the pronunciation.
I never know how to say this right. Okay, let's just say we have an advantage. We have that one map where they can go to. We have that play style, which is aggressive, which is getting in the head, you know, having strong fraggers. That's all good and well. I want to see them develop that, and I want to see them being able to have different play styles and also different maps where they get comfortable. And I guess that's going to be the working process for the next two months. Overall, very positive for Wolves.
It's something for Wild. Yeah, no, it's something,
Wolves.
it's something positive to hold on to, and indeed, like you say, expand from there on, and hopefully, you know, make that better for the upcoming stage. But for one more time, we get to speak to the victors. We have Wild on the line with us to ask them a few questions. Once again, we're joined by Evan. Good night again, and once again, congratulations on the victory. You finally take down your arch nemesis, MACKO. How are you feeling?
It feels pretty good. I mean, it seems like I'm becoming a regular on here, I guess, so. A little bit late, but better late than never, I suppose.
Evan, I need to ask you, where was this Wild? Where was this Wild at the beginning of the stage? Come on, guys, we needed to see more of that from you.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we were just showing people too much respect early in the stage, and I don't know. On Chile, we're not even playing strats, to be honest. We didn't play the map for like 2 or 3 months. We're just playing positions and just running around, and it works, so I don't know.
Well, you weren't running around at that Black Stairs. I will say this, that little dance from you on Cade in those Black Stairs, praise to you, because that was...
the Solar Stairs?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Solar Stairs. I call that Black Stairs. Solar Stairs, yeah. I mean, that one single round, you won it single-handedly with that C4 and the juggles around the nades. That was really cool.
Yeah, no, back in 2020, teams would have cleared that like so easily, but I guess today, we can't do it.
They're not
didn't
used
do
to
it
it.
yesterday, didn't do it today, yeah.
They had 4 nades on you, by the way. I don't know. Insane.
Yeah. And the bug below,
And the bug below as well.
whatever it is, Do you think that's what it is then, Evan? I suppose, you know, you spoke about, because the big story here is how you guys have come alive late in the stage, right? Do you think it was maybe, earlier in the stage, I think you said maybe a little bit of pressure on individuals and as a team. And then do you think actually maybe it's more important that you just play as a team rather than the strats like you have done on Chalet? Do you think you'll implement that in the future, maybe across more maps?
Not too sure on that one because it's like kind of hard to do across other maps, especially more win condition maps. Like you couldn't do it on Clubhouse or Bank, but like I don't know, we could be open to it, for sure.
I think the real thing for me, as like that I'd like to see you guys is like manage to have the same amount of teamwork and aggression, I guess, and confidence, but also play to a different win condition that's maybe more methodical and actually is objective oriented. And I guess that's like probably gonna be, I think, something you're gonna work on in the summer, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like we know that we can win rounds playing quick, and like we've been trying to get better at slowing the pace down, but it still needs a lot of work very clearly.
Yeah.
And I guess just like adapting individually, where it's like picking a different entry point or just picking a different, like small weaknesses that we got to work on.
on that subject, I wanted to ask indeed, like you say, the small things you need to work on, obviously, the individual things. What are the next 2 months going to look like for you guys?
Don't really know yet, to be honest. I guess we'll just scrim and see how it goes from there.
Are you going to have a bit of time off? A little bit of vacation? Holiday?
We'll think about it.
Okay.
All right, well, once again, though, thank you so
Fabian
much.
wouldn't have a vacation, so...
Oh.
Yeah, but he did also lose to Team Cruelty, so, you know.
Oh, I'm glad you said that and I didn't.
I'll take him cooking me, it's fine.
All right, well, obviously, like you said, it's getting late. This is unfortunately where we say goodbye to you, because we won't be seeing you for the players, but we do hope to see you again when Stage 2 starts. So for now, once again, enjoy the victory, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Have a good night. Bye.